Trump's latest salvo on H-1B visas. Now, is this merely a negotiating tactic? Because remember, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is in the United States today. He will be beginning trade talks with his counterparts and with the USTR. That's the US trade representatives. You have S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, who will be meeting his counterpart, Marco Rubio. But here's what I think is really happening. Of course, Trump's latest action on H-1B visas will have a short-term impact on Indian IT companies. The estimate of H-1B visa holders for most Indian IT companies is actually in the low single digits. And if you look at what a host of these companies have put out in the last 24 hours or so in terms of exchange filings and information, they've talked about how over many years, their dependence on H-1B visas as a tool has anyway come down. Many of them have onshore workers now for the projects that they take up in the United States. And like I said, Trump's actions could actually be a negotiating tactic ahead of the trade talks between India and the United States. That's possibly what they're doing with this Louisiana senator's bill on shrimp imports from India. Set the bar high, so when you're negotiating, you have more to give away. What we're seeing is that the impact on US companies is actually likely to be higher than on Indian companies. The Meta and the Amazons of the world will hurt more because even if you hire locally, it's going to cost more, and productivity is not that high. It's just simply a fact that Indian workers in the United States on H-1B visas give you more bang for the buck. They work better.
Yeah. There's partly that, and there's also the rush to clarify before there was too much chaos. The press secretary coming out and saying, hey, wait, this is not an annual fee. And you know, it's important that she made that clarification because the announcement and the signing of the document, it seemed to suggest something else entirely. So there was a lot of panic that was...
No, for that one day, people were trying to scramble back to the United States. That was just cruel.
Yeah. So the clarification waters this down, right, and quite significantly. So I also spoke to a couple of CEOs over the weekend, and we'll of course get in a conversation with Ganesh Natarajan, who's headed NASSCOM earlier as well, right? The situation is not as bad as it seemed on Saturday morning. It's a moving picture, but not as bad as it seemed on Saturday morning. The companies are saying they have an option of the onshore-offshore mix as well. If anything, it may impact the top line because the billing onshore might be lower than the billing offshore, but it is not very margin dilutive. I think the Infosys ADR and the consulting stocks in Friday in the US ended up 4.5% lower. That might not be the case in India today. So that's part two. And most companies have been prepping for this for months, really. So that's the thing. No, I'll just come to that in a moment. Most companies have been prepping for this for the last few quarters and not just the last few months. So that's the other thing. And guys, the other thing to think of it, just the number of messages that have gone out on social media from Kunal Bahal to multiple other people. But I loved the message that Jugeshender Singh, fondly known as Robbie Singh, and he is the group CFO of Adani Group. He put out this message on X, which I want to read out with the standard disclaimers, of course, that the Adani Group owns NDTV. But independent of that, just the nature of the message is so compelling. He's saying that I have had full access to work in the US, Australia, EU, Canada since 1996. Today, I'm here in India. India is a once-in-a-millennium opportunity. He goes on to say that India will add, over the next 25 years, an economy the size of US, presenting an unparalleled professional opportunity and the profound joy, most importantly, the profound joy of creating in our land of birth. India is now the game to be at. And he goes on to say that if you are on a US campus feeling disturbed or disheartened, do be afraid of the unseen and remember many doors are open back home. India of 2025 is the greatest opportunity humanity has seen. Aao, ab laut chalo. Reach me, we are at Adani Online, and many more corporates welcome you. India welcomes you. I don't think there is a more powerful post that puts it up. Everybody had the same sentiment. He's just worded it so beautifully. And guys, frankly, we are in the right place at the right time, making the most of the India opportunity.
I know there is a lot of also talk about, okay, we're trying to make the best of a situation like this. The fact is a lot of people have gone to other places for better opportunity, and there is a reason for that, talent gets that kind of an outlet. Technology is cutting edge, quality of life, standard of living, how we live in our cities, all of that is true. But nevertheless, what has happened right now does give an opportunity, if nothing else, for us to fix what the flaws are over here.